Thanks for joining us for another edition of Beneath the Wing. This is a special Valentine's Day edition, and so by saying thanks for joining us, I am joined by my love of my life, Lisa. My wife, by the way. So thanks for joining me, Lisa.
Thanks for clarifying, Mark. Whoa, I was worried there for a minute.
Already off to a great start. This edition, we're going to be interviewing two really special couples attached to our wing. But before we start, I figure we'll do our own question.
Sure, let's do it. So let's talk about pandemic life and love.
Because that's been on everybody's mind.
Here we still are. A year ago, we thought maybe by this time we would be out of this, kind of mess we're all sharing right now. But we're not. So do you have any more thoughts about how the pandemic has either made our relationship harder or made our relationship better?
Well, we have spent an awful lot of time together, maybe more so than we normally would. I haven't been traveling as much as a command chief. There's some travel that goes along with that, and they've cut back on that quite a bit. But really, it's allowed us to spend time together, and instead of just getting into the comfortable rhythm of the day-to-day, we go a lot deeper into some of the conversations that we have with one another. And I think that's been helpful because it's allowed us to really deeply explore some of the stuff that normally just would be surface. Plus we started a big project together, which we're both kind of project and doer people, so we've started to restore an antique truck that I drove in high school. And I want to say half done with the project because it's all stripped down to the bare frame. And
it is completely apart.
Yeah.
In pieces.
Yeah, last year at this time, I think we were just taking the engine out of the truck, and now there's no into the truck because there's no body parts on the frame.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we mentioned this last year in the podcast too, so all of y'all can go back and listen to that episode again.
There you go.
I might too.
How about you, Lisa? How's the last year changed our relationship for you?
Well, we're again empty nesters.
Yes, that's right.
So we had 3 of our adult sons bounce back for early in the pandemic, and they all progressively left again, with the last one back to college away from home in September. And so again, we have, just the 2 of us staring back and forth at one another here at home, which has thankfully been a nice change. And I do agree. I think we have time to dig deeper into our conversations because we have time. I think that you, sweetheart, are much better at just relaxing, and you've never been that person up until maybe the last year and a half or so, where you just got comfortable with downtime. Chilling out for an afternoon, taking a nap, those kinds of things. So that's kind of nice to see.
Yes, I have gotten a little bit better at sitting still.
True enough.
For most people that know me, I'm not a good sitter-stiller type person.
No.
So, I agree. I just have really enjoyed the sense of home and embraced where we live and how we live, and just kind of modified that. Don't feel that fear of missing out is a really big thing in our life. We're just okay where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice to be able to make home just a respite, the place you want to be.
Yeah.
And make yourself a person you want to be around, which is another thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you think we're missing anything?
Missing anything in terms of what?
The fear of missing out, like, are you missing anything?
Oh, we used to travel more than we do. We're starting to travel again, maybe the last 6 to 9 months or so. I've missed that. We adventure well together. We see new places well and find that exciting and interesting. And so I miss I guess I miss feeling completely comfortable doing that. Yeah.
It's tough. And it comes down to people. It's tough being around people that aren't in your immediate family. I think I miss that, and I miss the I miss the relationships that we have with our friends, with our family, with the people that we work with. We don't see our grandkids near enough. It's just been a struggle, but hey, we're getting through this.
It'll end eventually.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what that looks like in hindsight, but.
Well, we're going to get going on to the first couple that we interviewed, and there's 2 different couples. So stick around, and when we're all done, we'll close things up. So thanks again for joining us on Beneath the Wing, and joining us next, well, stick around and find out. Thanks to Alan and Justyna Kroth for joining us in studio. So just a little bit about you two. You're both in the military. Justyna, you work at finance full-time, getting our airmen paid, which is important for the work that they do. And Alan, you're one of our traditional 1 week a month guys. You work in the 210th Engineer Installation Squadron. Those are 2 really different career fields. So let's start off with how you 2 met. What's your love story?
Well, funny enough, we met in 2009, December, and I just landed in Keesler after basic training. And in the in-processing room, we're in our blues, so they call the new people blueberries, right?
Yep, Sunday blueberries.
I love it. And Alan comes in all nonchalant, just throwing a football around. He's got his red rope t-shirt on, so it was a red shirt. I remember this vividly. And so the first time I met him was in tech school, and he was my red rope.
So red rope, for people that aren't in the military, that's something that they give to airmen that are brand new, but they give them a little bit of responsibility and everybody can see it.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was a student leader. Our squadron had 700 airmen in it, and I was one of 2 red ropes of the student leadership. So I interact with our MTLs, which are military training leaders. And so I would greet on Sundays, because there was no MTLs there. I would greet the new troops coming through the door, and so Justyna was one of those new troops.
And so I was like, oh, he's pretty good looking. And
first person she saw out of basic training. So I'm it. I was it.
You were it.
Yeah.
And so we got to know each other during tech school, and then went on a couple dates.
Yep.
And then I was active duty, and he was in the Air National Guard. So then I went to Japan after. So then we did the long distance relationship over Skype for 2 years, which was very challenging for people who have gone through long distance relationships. We had some ups and downs, and then ultimately I decided to join the reserves and move here.
Yep. And then 3 kids later.
3 kids later.
Now she moved over to the National Guard.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So.
Tech school love, as a lot of people joke about in the military. Yeah.
I'm just going to say that is always a good idea.
Yeah. People always,
people,
and here's the thing: Justyna was there for only 6 weeks. I had been there for 5 months. So when she got there, I had already been there. My tech school was substantially longer. The IT tech school was really long. You had to learn all the technical stuff. But it was. So when she got there, I'm already thinking about coming home and going back to college and doing all that stuff. And
I'm starting my career in the military, active duty.
She really threw a wrench in things. So trips to Japan and all kinds of good stuff.
Then he proposed to me when we were in Japan.
Yep.
And you want to tell him how shortly after it was that you proposed to me?
Oh gosh, does it really matter?
4 months.
Well, now it does.
4 months.
4 months.
4 months after meeting in tech school.
Yes.
You know.
We knew. Yeah. I recall vividly. We had conversations in her car. Or in my car, because I was down there for so long, I had my vehicle down there, and I remember having conversations about our life, difference about life, and we both have a pretty, I don't want to say tough, but we've had a pretty tough upbringing, both of us individually, and we had a lot of similarities between our families, and so even our differences made sense, right? It was she liked peanut butter and I liked jelly, right? And like it just worked,
Wow.
right? Like it was one of those things that like everything about us, I was like, I just knew it, and like it was just we had decided we were actually going to be done.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't going to do anything.
I had orders to Italy.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Before this, remember? So I drove her to the
yeah.
airport to
Yeah.
leave
Yes.
Keesler. I drove her. We stopped at a Cracker Barrel, and like we were like saying goodbye. Like this is it. And I literally opened the car door, and like we had already discussed this was it. And I remember just being like, this can't be it. Like we have to try. Like, and if it fails, it fails. But like I was like, we have to try. And we did, and we
Tried
failed
really
and
hard.
succeeded, and failed and succeeded, and here we are.
And we're
So,
literally celebrating our 10-year marriage anniversary.
Yeah.
February 20th.
yes,
Well, happy anniversary.
yeah.
Yes.
So just a couple of weeks away.
Wow, and you get to be on the podcast.
Yes. Such an
Perfect.
honor.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Very good.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. What a
Yeah.
fantastic love story.
Yeah, pretty good.
All right. So you mentioned you have 3 kids, 3 boys.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us their names and their ages.
So Hayden is our oldest. He is going to be 10 in July. And then we have twins, and that's Harrison and Tyson. And they're going to be 7 in April. To slide into another cool story, we had Hayden. So I moved here to Minnesota pregnant with Hayden. And then you deployed
Mhm.
shortly after.
Yep, 2012.
And so we did that whole thing. I had Hayden and we Skyped the birth.
Yep.
And
Watched my son be born on Skype, and
it
went
was,
back to work,
and he
digging
was in-
trenches
he
in
was
Afghanistan. So that's how that went.
Yes.
It was cool. There was news stories and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
we did.
you
Yeah.
can find
Through
it.
the 210,
Yep.
we like got all that. So that was really
So
cool.
Channel 5 did a couple stories on us through that, but yeah, it was.
So that was an experience.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know that I could do that. That would be rough. But tell me, following up on that story, how important would you say support is to families? Going through situations like that, deployments and working long hours and
This gets said. This gets said a lot in the military. Is that like the military member has it easy, like I got support. Like I have my guys, I got my people there that I'm with every single day, and I know what I'm doing. I don't really have to think. I don't. People do, but you don't have to really think about back home too much because you're just hyper focused on doing the mission and But I had the peace of mind, and Justyna can expand on it, but like I had family here that Justyna had support from, and I had friends that barely knew Justyna that were coming over and supporting her, and so it couldn't be done without it.
Yeah, it's
right?
invaluable.
Yeah, it's-
Support. So quick backstory, I'm from Florida.
Right.
Not from Minnesota.
Right.
So then we met in Mississippi. So when I moved here, I didn't know anyone.
Right.
So like I inherited all of his high school friends who he's still friends with till this day. I moved in immediately with his mom, and then he deployed. So I'm living with his mom, and I have this new baby and his sister who both were there for me like during the birth, and that was really cool and special. And so, I mean, to answer your question, it's critical. Like you have to have
So
support.
So important.
We're lucky.
Yeah, we were lucky.
How fantastic.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
And yet, how scary, how tough it must have been to be watching over Skype, not having him there,
Yeah.
but you guys made do.
Yeah.
Did it. I have I actually shared on Facebook not too long ago the pictures of when Alan met Hayden for the first time
Yeah.
in the airport. He was
November
like 4
19th.
months old, and that was really cool.
That was awesome. November 19th, I remember. I was there. It was a ton of fun.
I'm sure.
An experience. It sucked, right? But like, it was an experience that I'm glad I had, and it's something I couldn't have without the military, and like, it was good. I always say this, and I'm sure we'll go there in some of these questions, but I always say this is that like, I'm just so lucky that like, my wife is also military, and not just military, but just so understanding of of the situation, because I could wake up and be like, I have to go, I'm leaving for 6 months, and she would be like, got this. And like, I would never feel bad about it. That's why I said, like, I never had to worry about it, about her being back home whenever I'd be gone. So, yeah.
So we've got you guys are old now out here.
Yeah.
I know.
Not old like me, who've been around for
Right.
some odd years, but still now
Getting
you're
crusty.
You're getting old.
I'm getting some crusty.
You are.
I'm getting some crustiness.
I'm still young.
Yeah. Absolutely right. But these, what advice do you have for young military couples? I mean, Skype was the thing, and now there's
Right.
all kinds of different
Right.
ways of connecting. But what advice do you have for young military couples?
I think the biggest thing in any couple or any relationship is communication.
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of cool because we did our relationship backwards. We were on Skype every day, so we could only talk to each other.
Yeah.
And so I think that helped like our foundation to our relationship because we talked all the time. So for new married couples or new relationships starting off, like you just have to have the foundation of communicating with each other. And if you don't have that, then you're not going to be successful.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, this is advice. You said young military couples, but like this is advice that I think it's applicable to anyone, right? And I see it all the time with friends and relationships. And I ask a lot of questions to people that are like either recently divorced or like, what happened? Like, I want to know. I'm curious, right? Like, not because I want to make you feel bad, but just like I want to know, like, what went wrong? And it's so often tied to such a small thing potentially that because there was no communication around it, that it never got resolved, and then it just that resentment builds and builds and builds, and like it's just so important to just talk it. I mean, talk it out. You might not agree on it, but like feel better about it. Like it's just so key. Communication. I can't agree more. Lots of yard work.
Nailed it.
Yard work.
Yard work.
You mean you talk while you rake?
No,
No, it's
He
space.
means he leaves me
All right, so I need you guys to each give a dad's perspective and then a mom's perspective. What's one thing that you'll tell your sons when they start dating?
Do you want to go first?
All the good girls are at tech school.
Yeah.
No,
Cool.
sorry.
I mean, as a mother, I think that, I don't know, I think together we team us raising our kids, but just be kind.
Right.
For whoever you date, that's just about.
I think, I agree with that. And I think, a thing that we would say together, it would be respect. Again, it goes back to respect. And there's a saying in our household that attitude is everything. And actually, we talk about this all the time. And actually, last night, they all got in trouble. And
Yep.
we had the attitudes, everything talk. But it's so important that in that situation, and I asked my son, tell me a situation where attitude could impact your life. And his first thing out of his mouth, our 9-year-old, and you weren't even there, he said, if you ask a girl out and she says no, you could be really sad, or you could, and I was like, you could what? And he's like, well, you could ask out another girl. And like, it's just like trying to teach like resiliency and like, but bigger than that is the respect piece of it,
Yes.
To your significant other, whatever that is. And we have boys, not that it should matter, but like, it's a huge, I grew up in Texas. I had a really good example of a great relationship with my parents, and like, it's a respect thing. And one thing that I do for Justyna, and my kids see this all the time, is we do just like, I do little just cute things for her all the time, right? Like I'll write love notes, and I'll write, I love, there's this thing, and it's actually framed now. I've done a lot. It's like, it's you, I put you, comma, I heart you dash me. And it's like, it sounds very simple, but like, it's something that's been in our relationship our whole time. And so the one thing I would tell my kids is, on top of respect, is just ensure that like you put the effort into it.
Yes.
If you don't put the effort into it, it's not supposed to be easy. right? People that say that relationships are easy are wrong. Like they're literally lying to themselves.
Well, they're in
You
the
have to-
honeymoon phase.
You have to put you. It's like an investment, right? You put things into it to get things out of it, and like anything in life. And so it's just so important to do those things.
One of my superintendents in Japan, one thing he said to me that like always sticks with me. He's like, your relationship is like a little ember whenever you start, and by the time like 20 years, like it's a wildfire, and it's like you've just put all this work into it, and yeah, you have to do the little things. You have to think about the other person, and I mean, we haven't had that conversation with our children, but I think that by showing them how to have a happy, healthy relationship, marriage, hopefully they're absorbing that and can do it by themselves.
For sure.
That's the goal.
That's really sweet.
Thanks, Chief.
I knew we asked you guys to do this for the right reason. You guys are fantastic. What's your favorite way to spend downtime together?
With each other.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Bowling night.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we like to travel a lot. We like to just, like, that's the cool thing with me and her both is, like, we're both down for, like, anything. Like, she's like, let's go to the gym, let's go sit in the sauna, like, let's do it. Or let's go, let's go bowling. Like, and we go and do it. And, like, that's what's super fun about our relationship is that we're both willing to do things that like we don't want to do, and I say that and like not. It kind of sounded weird as it came out of my mouth, but like we're both like we're cool with like just doing whatever, and it's always been really
As long as we're
easy.
together.
It's that part's been easy.
Yeah.
Is that like it's like it might be something that I would never want to go like hiking. And like we went hiking in Arizona in October and
Had
it was
a blast.
Like, it's freaking incredible.
Yes.
And like we were just so accomplished and like just felt incredible. And so yeah. Anyways, it was great. But
I don't know. We don't have like a thing
Yeah.
per se, but we just go with the flow and
hot tub.
yeah, we do. Our opportunity to like have marriage meetings or like even like financial meetings is always in the hot tub.
Always the hot tub.
We'll do that like twice a week. Yes. And that is our opportunity to connect and to also think about the future and talk about the kids. The hot tub is probably our thing, I guess, if we're going to pick one
As
thing.
long as the kids aren't in there.
No, absolutely
No,
not. They're in
gosh.
bed.
And now it's the sauna. So
Yes, he is a very handy human, so he built us a sauna.
yeah. Now we sit in the sauna.
And now we're sauna people.
After the hot tub.
After the hot tub.
Sometimes we
That's
do
what I
both,
like.
yeah.
She just wants to go in the sauna.
I love the sauna.
It's a waste of
Fantastic.
Yes.
My turn?
You bet.
All right. So, Alan, Mark tells me you're a bartender.
I am a
Extraordinaire.
I am.
Okay. So, quick, light question here. What is the most romantic cocktail sure to make your wife swoon with romance?
It just kind of
Your
depends.
wife, not other
Yeah,
people's
yeah.
wife.
It kind of depends. And I was a wedding bartender, so
Oh, you
I
know
got
then.
to see it all, right?
Mhm.
And right now, I could go through her phases, but it started out with amaretto Dr. Pepper. That was her drink.
Di Serono.
Di Serrano,
Yeah.
which is
Mhm.
an amaretto.
Mhm.
And Di Serrano and Dr. Pepper, that was her drink. And then she switched to like margaritas. And then like margaritas was her thing. And so like I got really good at making margaritas.
He
And
makes
then-
a mean margarita.
And then now, or not now, then she started transferring to like stouts. And then it was a really dark beer phase, right? And she did dark beers for a long time. And recently, there's two drinks that she's been doing more. I'm a whiskey head, as I was commenting on some whiskey bottles that you have back there. But she's been drinking whiskey with me. But if I wanted to get to swoon, I guess, I would probably make her like anything with Luxardo cherries. So like she loves her Luxardo cherries, the really
So
deep
good.
dark Luxardos.
Yes.
So yummy.
But her drink of choice right now is a vodka gimlet.
Yes.
So she changes, and I just keep up whatever
sounds
she
kinda
wants, and then I
crazy.
learn how to do it and
Yes.
make it, and just keep going with it.
We adapt.
We adapt.
Yes.
Nice.
You just got to grow together.
Yes.
You do. Try
Got
new
to grow
things.
together.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna play a little game, which we do in the podcast.
I'm not competitive.
Called Would You Rather. It's fine.
Okay.
You
It's
just
not
have to have the right
competitive.
answers, and
Yeah.
he has to have the wrong answers. So Lisa and I are going to ask you a Would You Rather, and one gets to answer first, the other one gets to answer second. We'll see how close together you guys are.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
So there's no wrong answer,
Let's do it.
but
Just your answer.
you're going to be wrong no matter what.
It's fine.
All right, good. Would you rather go to a Foo Fighters concert or watch Netflix? Justyna.
Netflix.
Foo Fighters.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only because of our neighborhood.
Okay.
Our neighborhood's into it. Yep.
Would you rather eat chocolate or drink red wine?
Wine.
One.
Laugh with each other or have deep conversations?
Laugh.
Laugh.
Have more time or have more money?
More time.
More money. I mean, time. What did I say?
Both.
Cook or do dishes?
Ugh.
This
Neither.
is perfect. No.
Yeah. Cook.
I would rather cook. You would rather do dishes.
I'd rather you cook and clean.
Very good, very good.
There's the right answer.
Yes.
Oh, I don't like this one, so I'm going to skip it.
Fine, good.
Paint a room or vacuum the entire house?
Oh, vacuum.
And I'm a painter.
Yes.
So
He's well matched.
You do both. Thanks, honey. Change all the diapers or do all the potty training?
Oh, I guess change the diapers.
change diapers.
Potty training's hard.
It's
Hard
nuts.
work.
It is not fun.
Boys.
True. Work outside or work inside?
Outside.
Outside.
Read a book or listen to music or watch a favorite show?
What do I like?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna say listen to music.
Okay. Well, that's a lie. Mine is definitely listen to music, but yours is watch a show.
Yeah, I do like watching shows.
All right. Are we wrapped up with that? Would you rather?
Yeah, you guys did really, really well. I've
Yeah.
interviewed some people and they have to go into detail on all of these, and sometimes
Oh
that's
no.
I thought about it, but I thought we were gonna rapid fire, so I debated not.
There you go.
Mhm.
All right. Next, maybe last question?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see. Best thing about being a dual military couple?
I think you kind of highlighted it earlier, but we just understand the ins and out of the military. And so when those, I don't know, mission requirement things pop up, we understand, like the George Floyd or the civil disturbance or the floods or anything that pops up like that. If he's getting tasked or I'm getting tasked, we understand. And not to say that a civilian dependent wouldn't. I just think that we do get it from just a military foundational.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
easy. It's easy. We've never argued about it. It's never been a weird thing. It's just easy. She's going for 2 weeks on Sunday?
Yeah.
So
Literally leaving for 12
Mississippi
days.
for
yeah.
12 days, and
Yeah.
like we barely have even talked about it. Like it was like, yeah, just whatever, go.
We'll figure
Like,
it out.
I'll be fine, and it's vice versa. It's the same thing. So, because I have a deployment coming up next year, and so it's gonna suck, but she gets it, and we'll team it and figure it out. So,
You're not having a baby while he's gone.
I'm not this time.
no puppy.
It's not
either.
too
No
late.
puppy.
We didn't even talk about that with 2 dogs. She keeps buying dogs when I leave, though, so I gotta stop.
One time. One time he was in India for work and he came home to a puppy and he'll never let it go.
Nope. No, I will not.
But you love the dog.
Yeah. No, I do.
He
I
loves
mean,
him.
the dual military. I'll just be honest. Like, it's not awesome, right? It makes it easier, but it's not awesome.
Drills are hard.
Drills is. I wish that I could do off drill. Like, I wish that I could, do it during the week or whatever. Just because it becomes such a task and such an ask for our family, and it's gonna get easier because our kids are getting older, and then it's just gonna be like, take care of yourselves. Like, we'll be home at 4. But at this point, it's tough. There's not. The only good thing is that we understand the pain that comes with some of being in the
The
military.
sacrifices.
But other than that, I mean, there's
Well, we
oh,
did.
great.
So when I was in the reserves and he was in the guard, we did have 2 different drills.
Right.
So we experienced that, and it was good where I could take care of the kids, and then on my drill weekend, he took care of the kids. And that worked on paper, but then we're losing 2 weekends a month.
And it was like, if it's going to suck, then let's just make it.
So, yeah. So then I came over to the guard, and we joined our weekends. And so now we have more weekends without the military duty, but it's hard because now that our kids are in sports, it's always on Saturday.
Yeah.
And so that's the difficult thing that we're facing right now. But again, I think the best thing is that we both get it and we understand, like,
We figure it out.
our sacrifices.
So.
Thanks for being honest on that question. There's a lot of conversations that I have up here where we try real hard to remember how difficult some of those weekends are, especially on our dual military families.
Yes.
Right.
And how much extra work and support it takes to just make the family go
Right.
and keep the mission going.
Yeah, no, I completely get it, and I get you have to balance, right? I mean, it's not like you can do a bunch of one-off situations, and I totally understand.
And we're
that.
lucky we have grandma.
Yeah,
So.
but it is like I thought it would get easier, and I still kind of do think it will get easier. But like I coach all their sports, so like every weekend I'm gone, I'm missing. You know, I'm not now. I'm not just letting
just
down
for our
Hayden
kids,
or my twins. I'm letting down the whole team because then I'm not coaching, and so it's like. And that's like a really important part. It's becoming a very, very important part of our lives because we're seeing, you know, the last 2 years have been, as a lot of people have said, have been like unprecedented time. And where do you put your time? Where do you put your effort in order to make an impact on the world? And we have felt like, you know, the change, it starts with family, right? You got to change the family. You got to impact people at a young age so they grow up to be good people, and it's a generational thing, and then eventually you have lots of good people, hopefully. So that's become a very big focus for us and our family because it's just so important. There's no other way to make a change in the world than to change our youth. And I'm not a teacher, and I wouldn't want to be, so sports it is.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us
Yeah.
and telling us your love story and giving some good advice and just being real good role models for the families out here.
For sure.
This
for
has
asking
been
us.
a lot of fun. Lisa and I, you want to say something?
I was going to say, such a pleasure.
Oh,
You guys got it together.
we
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
We don't.
You don't try?
There are
Or you don't
arguments.
have it together?
There are arguments. There are
Oh,
arguments.
we're not
trust me.
perfect at all. But the trick is you work through the
You
hard
have
times.
to talk through it.
Well, we are going to take a break. We're going to say goodbye to Alan and Justyna Kroth. Thank you again for joining us in studio, or actually in my boss's office.
Thanks,
But thanks for joining us on Beneath the Wing. We're going to be back after this brief message from our Family Programs Coordinator.
Hi everyone, it's Molly with the Airmen and Family Readiness Program here at the Wing. As we move into the new year, I want to take a moment to remind you of all the great resources and support the Airmen and Family Readiness Program provides. Examples of such include navigating deployments, meaning guiding airmen and families through the pre, mid, and post-deployment phases. Assisting with personal financial matters is another core service, whether that's establishing a basic budget, exploring emergency financial assistance, or planning for your future. I also help with civilian employment matters such as job searching, networking practices, resume writing, and interview preparations. Additionally, we're blessed with fantastic key volunteers here at the Wing who are our very own military family members that give their time and experience in support of one another and help host family events here throughout the year. Please reach out if we can help you or your fellow airmen or military family in any way. Our phone number is 612-713-2367. Again, that is 612-713-2367.
Thanks, Molly, for that important message. I hope you enjoyed our meeting with the Kroths and the great conversation that we had, and that you click on the next episode of Beneath the Wing in our two-part series, the Valentine's Day issue of Beneath the Wing.
Hope you click on it. We'll see you there.